Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. So you welcome you all for this Sunday Bhagavatam series, and today we are going to discuss the 10th chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is something a very special chapter. So so there was a suggestion that we also learn some shloka in our session. So start with the shloka as we do in a Bhagavatam class. And this shloka is something very beautiful shloka what we are going to recite. Sasangan mukta dosango. So please recite after me. Sasangan mukta dosango. Hatum na usahate buddha. Kityamanam yasho yasya. Sakredakarnarojanam. Tasminyastadiya partha. Sahiran vilaham katham. Darshana sparsha samlapa. Shayanasana bhojanaya. Satsanga, an intelligent person, was the meaning of the shloka. Satsangan, one who has attained satsanga, satsang, and dusanga, and he has given up dusanga, bad association. Hatum na usahate buddha, he cannot give up. What he cannot give up? Kirtanamanam yashoyasya, hearing the glories, the kirtan of the Supreme Lord. Sakrat akarna rojna, even he has heard. So, like if you hear one class, you want to come for more and more class of hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. So that's what this verse is talking about. Satsanga mukta dusango. So if you have good association in which you hear the glories of the Lord, and you give a bad association, then you will want to hear the glories of the Lord again and again. So it answers the question why people after coming to devotional life again they want to go back. It's only because of dusanga. Yeah. And it said, Tasminyasta Dhyapartha. What to say of the Pandavas? Why? Their intelligence was fixed on Krishna. Saharen Virham Katha. How the Pandavas will tolerate separation from Lord Krishna. Why? Darshana. They will take darshan of the Lord. Sparsha. They will touch the Lord. Samlapa. They will talk with the Lord. They will sleep with the Lord. And they will take prasadam with the Lord. So they were so mad. And how much the Pandavas would be feeling separation. An intelligent person who has understood the Supreme Lord, in association with pure devotees and has become free from bad materialistic association, can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though he has heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation, for they had been intimately associated with his person by seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him? Sleeping, sitting, dining. And the purport is beautiful purport. As one associates with pure devotees and hears them submissively, attachment for mental enjoyment slackens, and attraction for hearing about the transcendental activities of Lord becomes prominent. Once this attraction begins, what? Attraction about Krishna, hearing the Leela of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, it goes on progressively increasing without stoppage, like fire in gunpowder. It is said that Hari, the personality of Godhead, is so transcendently attractive that even those who are self satisfied by self validation and are factually liberated also become devotees of the Lord. So, under the circumstances, it is easily understood what must have been the position of the Pandavas, who were constant companions of the Lord. They could not even think of separation from Sri Krishna, since the attraction was more intense for them because of continuous personal contact. So, Lord is so attractive. Okay, so we'll start with prayers and then we'll begin our chapter. Om Gyantimarandhasya Jnananjanachakaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vadanti Sevadantikam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभद्र हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So see last class what we saw? Bhishma Dev section we saw, he's feeling bad about the condition of the Pandavas. And Bhishma Dev is talking about why do suffering come in this world? Why do suffering come? Like even the great devotees of like Pandavas, they suffer. So Bhishma Dev said, you are not suffering because of your reactions. It's a great plan of the Lord to remove the evil, to remove the demonic people from the planet Earth and establish Yudhishthira as a king so that again Satyuga came. So it is said when Duryodhana was ruling, it was Kali Yuga because Duryodhana is Kali himself. So when Duryodhana was ruling, it was Kali, and when Yudhishthira's rule came, Satyuga came again. And when Parikshit was ruling, again it was Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. And when Parikshit again Kali Yuga. There. So the people in the time of Parikshit Maharaj and Yudhishthira Maharaj, they felt like a Satyuga. And that is a description given in this 10th chapter. And in that 9th chapter, one of the theme was, as you would have learned last time, that whatever happens for a devotee is under the plan of the Lord. So devotee understand that Lord always have a greater plan for him, whatever happening in his life. So in one way, Lord, for a devotee, there is no karma. When a devotee surrenders to the Lord, he is chanting the holy names of the Lord, his sinful reactions vanish. There is no karma. So practically there is no suffering for a devotee. But because a devotee is still not purified in the heart, Lord may use his karma to purify the devotee. Lord may use the karma of a devotee to purify the devotee. That's why we may see even devotees' life problems are coming. But actually, devotees' life there is no problem supposed to come. But for devotees' life, Lord Krishna is personally involved. Even if suffering is coming, Krishna is personally involved to give that suffering, to allow that suffering to come because of his previous karma. And Lord will give 100% or 10% suffering only. If his Prabhupada one time one devotee got a hand cut, he was while cutting sabji, he got some his finger cut. And Papa said that your head would have been cut, but Krishna only gave a token of cutting the finger. So, karmani nirdhanti kintuja bhakti bhaja. So, one who worships the Supreme Lord, his karma is very much reduced to a sesame seed. And only a little fraction of the karma comes to the degree devotee needs purification to come on the right lane. If a devotee is going towards an enjoyment path, then Lord will give some of his karma come to him, so that devotee again comes back and realize what is good for him. So for a devotee, basically there is no karma. So therefore, all of you, we are coming for the devotional path and chanting the holy names of the Lord. So you have taken the most important path to bring complete auspiciousness in life and remove all the sufferings in life. But it may take some time. Like when a fan is blowing, when a fan is in full speed, and you switch off the fan, it takes some time, the fan takes some time to off, right? So suffering of a devotee or a karma of a devotee is like that. It's in a full speed. But now our switch is off. So slowly it go away. You see, and you see sufferings goes away. But for non-devotees, the suffering is like a moving fan. It goes on and on, goes on and on. But for a devotee, it comes at a halt. Yeah. So this is the 10th chapter, 9th chapter Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, in the 9th chapter, Yudhishthir becomes convinced. Bhishmadeva's prayers are over and Yudhishthir becomes the king. Now, Sutta Goswami, the Shanakadi Rishis, asked the question to Sutta Goswami, Are, when Yudhishthir became the king, how did he rule? Did he also became like, got into the... Now, Yudhishthir could not have ruled unrestrictedly. Surely he could not, she said, Shaunak said, after killing his enemies who desired to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did Yudhishthir Maharaj rule his subjects? Because Yudhishthir was a very pious king. How did he rule? Right? He could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness. So Sutta Uvacha, Sutta Goswami gives the answer. Lord Shri Krishna, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaj Yudhishthir in his own kingdom and after restoring the Kuru dynasty which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Now, behind the whole plan, so here Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to Him, and cease to suffer the threefold material pangs. The whole plan of creation is made in that way, and one who does not come to his senses and go back to God in the material world, the pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord therefore wants his bona fide representative to rule the world. Lord Sri Krishna descended to establish this sort of regime and to kill the unwanted persons who have nothing to do with his plan. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of the Lord so that undesirable persons could get out of the world and a peaceful kingdom under his devotee could be established. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhishthira was on the throne and on the settling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaj Parikshit was saved. So this shows that Mahabharata, see what is the purpose of this universe? The purpose of this universe is not a hotel, it's a hospital. So generally you go to hotel and order your menu that I want this in the menu. But this universe is not a hotel. This universe is a hospital. Hospital you get to get cured, and you follow a program given by the doctor, right? In a hotel, you have a choice of your menu and everything, enjoyment, right? Till the time you have money in the pocket. After money is lost, then hotel is also not a place for enjoyment. But hospital, you get treatment where they may be diet, eat this, don't eat this, take this medicines, and you get cured. But when you get cured, then you can actually enjoy the world. The same way, this universe is like a hospital where you take the medicine of Vedic scriptures, follow the program given by Vedic scriptures, perform bhakti, get cured, and go to spiritual world and enjoy. But what happens if a patient start enjoying in the hospital only? Then he will remain in the hospital and he has to keep taking the medicines. But if the patient follows the program given by the doctor, he is happy. The same way, Lord has made this universe, and Lord also made an arrangement how to come back to Him, to remove all suffering in this world. Now, who can best do this? A devotee of the Lord. By performing bhakti, he can end his disease of enjoying separately from God in this world and go back to spiritual world. So this is the reason Lord Krishna he put Yudhishthir as a king, right? Yudhishthir is a devotee of the Lord. So when king becomes a devotee, the whole praja becomes a devotee. Like there was no person in the time of Parikshit Maharaj who will smoke, who will drink liquor, who will have any relationship outside marriage, right? Anybody eating meat also. Four regular principles are completely banned in the kingdom of Yudhishthir Maharaj and Parikshit Maharaj there. And everybody was chanting the glories of Lord Krishna and reading Vedic scriptures. The Brahminical culture was there, and it was like a Satyuga only. Right? Just imagine what a culture it would be. Everybody is a devotee. Like you go to Vrindavan, everybody say you Radhe Radhe, wearing kanti mala, tilak, and you feel where you have come. That time, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj made the whole world like that. Whole of India was like that during their regime. And what the culture we think of there. And because they were following the Ajita, the order of the Lord, there was so much grains happening. Like the earth without fertilizer, it was giving much more yield what it is giving now. The cows are giving so much of milk, and rains will come at a very proper time. Even have experience of that. I used to work in few years, a decade back. I used to work in IPM and go to Dehu for preaching in Pune. So that time I would see in Pune there is no rain, but in Dehu Gaon where no they have Ram Krishna Hari Tukaram Maharaj, there what will happen? The proper time rains will come, and proper time rains will stop, and good crop will happen there because the dharma is followed. But Pune hardly rains, and in proper time rains. The time it will destroy the crops and things. When people are ready to go for office, that time it will rain, and people are facing difficulty, trouble. Life is happening. Why? Because they are not following the dharma. So, because Yudhishthir Maharaj made the whole world follow the dharma, they were even diseases went away from planet Earth. Now you may feel this is joke, but if you would have been there 5,000 years back, you would have realized it that all diseases went away, and neither there was excess cold, neither excess hot, and COVID though unheard of. Any pandemic like plague, malaria, they were unheard of. That was the rule of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So those so many people died in Kurukshetra, but they also went back to God. Those people who died in Kurukshetra, those people who saw Krishna at the time of death, they went to Brahmajyoti if they couldn't appreciate the Lord's beauty. If they appreciated Lord's beauty, they went to Vaikuntha. And after the Kurukshetra war, there was a whole program dispatching people back to God. So this was a plan of the Lord. So Lord wants that every living entity in this universe goes on back to Godhead. This is the purpose of this universe, right? And Lord, and when Mother Earth sees if these living entities are not using this human form of life, going back to the Lord, she withdraws. Hardly grains will come in the field. You have to put a lot of fertilizer, still grains don't come out. Cows will not give much milk, and there will be excess cold, COVIDs, different situations. When living entities don't use the human form of life for practicing Krishna consciousness. And this is the theme again explained in Shrimad Bhagavatam. There. And when people worship the Lord, what happens? That is also explained. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, the cloud showered all the water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with so much milk cows will give, even ground will be wet. So Prabhupada said the basic principle of economic development center on land and cows. The necessities of human society are food grains, fruits, milk, minerals, clothing, wood, etc. One requires all these items to fulfill the material needs of the body. One does require flesh and fish or iron tools and machinery. And see, Prabhupada is saying, very amazing point. If there is enough milk, enough grain, enough fruit, enough cotton, enough milk, and enough jewels, then why do people need economic development in the shape of tools and machines? Can tools and machines supply vigor and vitality to man and animals? Can machinery produce grain, fruit, and milk, or jewels and silk? Are jewels and silk, along with varieties of foodstuff prepared with ghee, grain, milk, and fruits, not sufficient for man's pure, luxurious, and healthy life? Then what is the need of an artificial luxury life of cinemas, cars, radio, flash, and hospitals and hotels? Has this civilization produced anything? So this is what Sri Prabhupada is saying here, and we will see how the Vedic civilization and the modern civilization, what is the difference. So I'll show you one beautiful PPT made by Radhesham Prabhuji, his sessions. So we'll see the whole chapter, and many amazing lessons are awaiting for this chapter. That today we will have a comparison between Vedic civilization and modern civilization. So as you saw, there were no mental agonies, no disease, no excessive heat or cold. Why? Because a devotee was ruling. A devotee was ruling. You can see it is not the case. All excessive cold, heat, they all go away when a righteous government is ruling. Krishna gets ready to depart for Dwarka. So now Lord has done his work. Lord was waiting in Hastinapur just to make Pandavas as the king, and after that he said, I am going. But then his sister Subhadra, no, we worship Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So his sister Subhadra, she was crying because she had lost her son, Abhimanyu. So when Krishna saw that Subhadra is crying, he stayed back for some time. He stayed back for some time for his sister Subhadra. So that means in family life there was so much emotion. The women were also given a very important status in the Vedic culture. Krishna, his supreme lord, is so affectionate to his sister Subhadra. He is cancelling all his appointments, all his visits, and is staying back in Hastinapur just for his sister. And now finally, after all that, Krishna planned to depart for Dwarka. So here 17 to 19. So we discussed till verse number 6. Now verse number 7 to 19, 7 to 8. Family assembled to see of Krishna. Now, see in this world when we see of people, still there are some heart-touching moments, you're you're seeing of your relatives there. But when people are seeing of Krishna, what experience it is. Right? Seeing of Krishna. An intensity of Lord's attractive influence. How the Lord had captured the heart of everybody in Hastinapur. And how Lord was honored. So after the battle of Kurukshetra, Sri Hari, Lord Sri Krishna resided at Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and please his own sister Subhadra. So Vedic culture is a deeply personal culture, being centered around God, the Supreme Person. Krishna reciprocates with the feelings of his devotees. So in a Vedic culture, there is so much of feelings, taking care of the feelings of other people. Now, as a one contrast I will tell between modern culture and Vedic culture. One devotee had gone to London for a job for a month or two. He was sitting in a rickshaw, in a auto or a taxi. Taxi driver told that yesterday, that means he was telling him that one girl was crying. 14-year-old girl was crying. She told, my parents told me, beta, either pay the rent of the house or go out. Because you are now major, you are now teens, you have crossed 13 years of age, you should go out of the home. Because that's the culture over there. So that girl was crying. Now we can't think also of this kind of thing in India. That any father will say to girl, beta, go out of home because you have crossed 30. So what we value in Indian culture, we don't realize the value of that culture, our own values. So here we are going, this whole chapter says that what was the culture between. And see, this is not only a human culture, it is a Devi culture because Krishna is the supreme Lord and their feelings for Krishna is something very, very amazing. So in a God-centered civilization, all exchanges are based on a mood of service with full consideration of others' feelings. So relationship and welfare of others is given more importance than economic or material advancement. See nowadays what people ask, बेटा कितना पैसा कमा रहे हो? बेटा तेरा कितना कितना ग्रेड आया है? Previously it was not like that. It was seen अरे इसका अच्छा कैरेक्टर है नहीं है लड़के का. My grandmother was telling, if any boy is drinking liquor, उसका शादी नहीं होता था पहले. Nobody will give daughter. Now the condition has come in the Brahmanan families, in a traditional god sampradayas, the daughter asks कि हम ब्राह्मण से शादी नहीं करेंगे, जो सॉफ्टवेयर पैसा कमा रहा है उनसे शादी करेंगे. And बिचारा who is pujari in the temple doesn't get a wife only to get married. Proper. So opposite culture has come due to the modern culture in this world. Everybody sees how much is money is in a pot. What you are doesn't matter. How much money is in your pocket, that's the most important thing. Money is the honey. And this love. But previously the character was seen. How you respect the elders, how you behave with other people. Not only money was not the only factor previously. Exploitation and neglect of one group for satisfying another is considered reprehensible. Now people don't worry about cows are suffering, cows are eating plastic. Even I read one samana that the plastic, the plant we eat in a week. It's a UN report. We in a week we eat that much plastic equivalent to the plastic in a credit card. That much plastic goes into our body through microplast in the atmosphere, in water, in food. So junk civilization completely. So interests of one individual group do not clash with another because everything is done for the pleasure of God. So God is in the center. Even you go to Srirangapatnam, even today, Srirangapatnam, Melkote, everything is centered around the temple, how the cities are arranged, and everybody will live happily in the village. Okay. Now culture is, and everyone will be happily living in the village, keeping God in the center. So whether you're in city or village, when God is center, you can live happily. But conversely, when sense gratification is the main objective in life with no higher purpose, the result is industrial culture and rapid mechanization. We want everything faster and quicker. Instant coffee, instant love, and no time for loving exchanges. Like people may not have relationship with the people whom they are living, but on a WhatsApp or on a phone call, they will have relation. On a Facebook, they will have relationship with somebody 1,000 kilometers sitting apart. Because people's false ego are so much. Now, why the divorce rate is increasing so much nowadays? Because both man and woman are taught in educational culture, modern culture, and it's a no tolerance culture. No tolerance culture. But family ties stay only when there is a tolerance. Because when family, see, man and woman psychology is like that in a family, always there will be jhagda. Hardly you may find any family where there is no jhagda. Some families it may not be expressed, it kept in the heart. Some families there are verbal fight. Some families there are physical fights. Right? So always there will be there. But if tolerance is not there, some humility is not there, then very difficult. And for small things, divorce happen. Even in TV ads nowadays, no, the one devotee was selling, they show okay, for a menu of a breakfast, they will have divorce there, and they give an ad that okay, you use this menu, so divorces will not happen. Your family life will stay. So it has become so common nowadays. Why? Because the culture is no. I'm also great. You're also great. Everyone is great. You go your way. I go. Mine. So that a rapid mechanism. No time for loving exchanges. And complete competition and exploitation become the norm, killing finer human instinct. Key to good career. Walk on others' face. You see the feet upon the person. I will prove myself. I'm great. So from childhood, this filled so much that people can't learn even team playing also nicely. Can't play even learning to cooperate with each other. And people think I'm the best. But Krishna, so another aspect of relationship in Vedic culture, the older brother in the family feels great responsibility for other siblings. The younger sister is treated as good as one's daughter. So many others could have pacified Subhadra and Yudhishthir, but Krishna personally stayed back out of affection. But modern societies, see, this is the case. Child is in between mother here, father here. And most of the families, it's happening. So previously, mothers will know morning they will get up and make the fresh grain, put in the chakki, and the atta will come. Now they don't have time for doing that, so they go for gym. You know, they go for because body will give problem because you're not working hard. Now they have to go gym. Previously, when mother will cook, it's a very satisfying experience to the heart for the woman also and for the family members also. But now, okay, market se pizza mangwa lo, Danjo is coming, get the food, get do this, and nobody wants to cook. Even in Hyderabad, the IT company they built a flat. Near IT company, they built a flat where there is no kitchens in the houses because they opened a mess down, and everybody will come and eat there. So afterwards, when the Lord asked permission to depart, and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respect to Yudhishthira Maharaj by bowing down at his feet. See, Krishna is supreme Lord, but he is see, whatever role Krishna plays, he plays it perfectly. That's why no other relationship in this world can be very satisfying than our relationship with Supreme Lord Krishna. It's the only satisfying relationship in this world. There, even in Vedic culture, also the Vedic culture was much better than modern culture. But in Vedic culture, the most satisfying relationship is only with the Lord, because any relationship in this world, no matter how good it is, temporary. 20-30 साल साथ में रहना है, फिर then you can't stay anymore with people. But any relationship sambandha made with the Lord is a eternal asset there. So Lord is acts in such a way that he wins the heart of people in any relationship with his devotees. So because Krishna was younger brother, Arjuna was his equal, Yudhishthir was his senior brother. So Krishna will go and touch the feet of Yudhishthir. Can you imagine? And when and the king embraced, and Yudhishthir employed all his military to go for the protection of Lord Krishna out of affection for Krishna. So he knew Krishna's majesty, but still out of affection, he put all the there. After this, the Lord, being embraced by others and receiving their obeisances, got onto his chariot. So now you see there are customs. The customs and rituals were so designed as to touch the heart, to create an atmosphere saturated with heartfelt exchanges. Now rituals के बिना करना है, नहीं करेंगे तो कुछ अशुभ हो जाएगा. That's how most of the rituals are done. Previously, the rituals were done to to show respect to the other person, to create a heartfelt touch. Like you going back from home, people will do tika matha, give you a gola, there you will touch the feet of Nani. So there was a purpose, an exchange there. And just like you see Krishna, Sudama comes, and Krishna is personally washing the feet of Sudama, tears coming from the eyes of Lord Krishna. So such a and Sudama's heart was completely sheltered, showing the friendship of Krishna. So because this is the way things are going in the spiritual world. There, Krishna is behaving perfectly with his devotees. Such a way he becomes a servant of his devotees. And that captures the heart of anybody who comes in contact with Krishna. Like there's a we pay obeisances to devotees, because when we pay obeisances to devotees, like previously people will go touch the feet of their parents, grandparents, then parents and grandparents will bless them, and actually those blessings will bring good things in the life of children there. But nowadays, hi mom, hi dad. Okay, and that culture, it's very superficial culture in there. And you see there's a culture that you go to guru, you pay, obeisances to Guru. Now, what has happened? Guru is demanding a lot of the teachers in the schools demand a lot of salary, 1 lakh rupees. Then parents expect अच्छे से पढ़ाओ करके बच्चे expect करे तुमने इतना पैसा लिया पढ़ा नहीं रहे. So then teacher-student relationship doesn't remain of respect. But previously, gurus will teach selflessly. No, no money you have to give for Gurukul. Like all of us also attending this Bhagavatam session. Does any money charge for this? Right? Any money charge for this? Any knowledge? So this is the Vedic style. The education is free, and that brings the gratitude in the heart of the disciple for the Guru. And because of that gratitude, the knowledge sinks in the heart. Because of that gratitude, the knowledge sinks in the heart there. But now because you don't have respect for the teacher, kitna bhi ghis lo wo knowledge. Of course, this is like cramming knowledge. You can anyway get it. Those some intelligent student may not go to school also, still they may top the school. Right? There, nowadays because it's a cramming. But spiritual education is comes from the heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. There. So they will go touch, and that's how the character comes. When you go to the Gurukul, learn from the Guru, that way the characters will come. So women were also educated, but women were educated in the home by other women, and men were educated in the Gurukul. That was the difference, the training. But the education was there for both men and women in the Vedic times. In today's society, for lack of meaningful relationship and engagement, people feel unfulfilled and seek lesser engagement, often mindless or even harmful. Like they're going to casinos, bars, video games, because there are no meaningful engagements. Tension, strife, mental disturbance in Vedic culture, this was mostly dissipated by the fabric of loving relationship. There are a lot of emotional support within the family. There was hardly any need for externals, family counselors, psychiatrists, etc. Nowadays, out of one in America, out of one-fourth psychiatrists, they also go to one psychiatrist. Even psychiatrists, they also need a psychiatrist because so much load comes upon them. At that time, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yusu, Kripacharya, Nakula, Sahadev, Bhimsen, Dhamya, and Satyavati all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear separation from Lord Krishna. Just see, amazing point is what? It was the same Dhritarashtra, same Gandhari who had cursed Krishna. Gandhari had cursed Krishna. Your dynasty will also die. Of course, that's also plan of the Lord. Nobody can curse Lord Krishna, and no curse can take effect on Lord Krishna. It's a plan of the Lord. But Lord dealt even with Gandhari and Dhritarashtra in such a way, they are feeling some separation from Krishna when Krishna is. Can you imagine? Just imagine what would be if we had just one day or one moment to associate with Lord Krishna. How perfectly he deals. His beauty, his charming voice. In fact, the attraction in this world between a boy and girl, why that attraction is there? Because actual attraction is between Krishna and the Jiva. And because we are not finding that attraction, that's why that attraction diverges into man-woman relationship in this world. Otherwise, there is no attraction. See, both are souls, both are part and parcel of Krishna. But the attraction is the illusory attraction which is there, the original one in the spiritual world is a mere reflection, is there in the material world. So when you get attracted by Krishna, you don't get attracted by anything of this world. And Krishna is very, very attractive. And Srila Prabhupada writes very amazing thing in the purport that not even those who personally saw Krishna, but even those who hear about Krishna, they got attracted to Krishna. Like example, the Hastinapur ladies who were widows, they never came in directly touch with the Lord, but they heard only about Krishna. They heard the pastimes of Krishna. See, the way you hear pastimes of Krishna now, they will have every day hearing about the Krishna's pastime like this. Only few people would see Krishna, but others will hear Krishna's pastime. But because that there is so much faith in the narrations of Krishna's pastimes, just by Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's name, chanting Krishna's name, Govinda, Krishna, you know, they develop a lot of attraction for Lord Krishna. They developed a lot of attraction for Lord Krishna. And when they developed a lot of attraction for Lord Krishna, and when they saw the Lord, their life was perfect. Like Rukmani Devi, she never saw Krishna. She heard only qualities of Krishna, but she gave her heart to Krishna. Even Brahman Patnis, they never have an experience of Krishna. They have only heard about Krishna and they became great devotees of Krishna. The Prabhupada is saying because Krishna is absolute, the person, his name, his pastimes, his characteristics are absolute. There is no difference between name Krishna and person Krishna. But it is not true for us. Our name and our person is different. But Lord's name, form, paraphernalia, pastimes are all absolute. So when you're hearing this Krishna Katha, you're hearing the glories of the Lord, we are associating with the Lord. And when this hearing will become complete, one day we will associate with the Lord in the spiritual world. And this is the beauty, greatness of hearing about Lord's qualities, Lord's Katha, chanting every day the holy names of the Lord. The intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord is a morning verse we recited. The intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become free from bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. Why? Because Lord's person is understood by his glories. And Krishna is naturally attractive for all living beings. Very, very attractive. Even Lord would go from Dwarka to Hastinapur. Then how he will go? He will go through all the villages. In the 11th chapter, you will see all the and all people will come do Aarti for Krishna. Like our Jagannath Rath goes, then everybody comes and do Aarti. Everybody comes. The same way Krishna will go all the way from Hastinapur, Dwarka to Hastinapur. So we will stop at different villages, and all village people will come to see Krishna and do Aarti for the Lord. Even I know in my hometown also there is a Tirth called Vasudev Tirth. He said that Lord Vasudev with Pandavas had come over there. So many places, Lord purified the entire Bharatvarsha. Just think, if we also would have been 5,000 years before, we would have seen Krishna personally. But by the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam, you can experience Krishna even today. Krishna is not personally present. This is the beauty of Krishna. And Pandava's moments with Krishna. Pandavas has great moments with Krishna. When Krishna had provided the sari to Draupadi, right, during the Cheezhara, but Krishna personally did not give. So when the Pandavas went to Vanvas, this Khandava's forest, they went there with Draupadi, and Krishna came to meet them. And Draupadi was very much crying, Krishna, you did not came to protect me. Lord, what happened to me? Just see. And you know what Lord said? I was actually busy with fighting with Salva, that's why I could not come. Krishna did not tell her, I was the one who sent you sari. That's calling your name. There. Right? So that was loving moments between Pandavas and the. One time, Durvasa Muni came, sent by Duryodhana. So Draupadi had Akshay Patra in which if till the time she eats, she can feed to thousands of people. That's why Madhva Yuga, Madhva Udupi Mat, they say Akshay Patra. That means thousands and lakhs of people can be fed. Food will keep coming. And that was given by Sun God personally to the Pandavas. And said, till the time you are in Vanvas, it come. Why? Yudhishthira had a great desire to feed the Brahmanas. There. But Durvasa Muni came and Draupadi had eaten. So where to get the food? Then Draupadi loudly called out, Krishna, Krishna. Immediately Krishna appeared there. And Krishna said, find a little drop of food you see. Are you seeing? And Draupadi saw the food. And Krishna ate it. And Krishna ate it. Durvasa Muni with his all 60,000 disciples, everybody's stomach got full. Yashwin Tushte, Jagat Tushte. And when Bhima went to take them, they ran away. कि अभी नहीं खाया तो फिर कुछ शाबाब मिल जाएगा अमरीश महाराज के साथ तो पुराना एक्सपीरियंस है So such intimate moments Krishna was there with the Pandavas, with the battlefield, with everything. Krishna was very, very dear to the Pandavas, even more than their own life. Krishna was so dear, Kunti is saying, Lord, what difficulties come, let them come again, but you stay with us. Because now our difficulties are over, you are going back. So better we have difficulties and we have you, my lord. That's the beauty of love for Krishna. Even Kunti Maharani is not minding the difficulty, she is happy. And therefore she is praying Vipada Santuta Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyata Apunar Bhavadarshanam. There. Therefore, for a devotee, the only thing in life is Krishna. He wants to stay a place where Krishna worships is happening. He wants to stay with devotees. He wants to chant Krishna's name, want to hear Krishna Katha there. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation, for they had been intimately associated with his person? Seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with. So Pandavas had a tough time because Krishna is leaving. You see, all women are crying because Krishna is leaving from Hastinapur. So nature of hearing topics about Krishna from undisturbed authorities pacifies the mind of all incongruities and help one transcend all kinds of problems. Vedic culture emphasizes regularly hearing transcendent topics. Now, in fact, why do TV came in India? In 89 or 90 around, they will any home will have a TV, it will have a full like a picture hall only. Because many people will come to see Ramayana and Mahabharata. So many people in India purchase to watch Ramayana and Mahabharata. But in 30 years of time, all serials as a Ramayana and Mahabharata don't come except this pandemic time. It was a government's initiative to bring Ramayana and Mahabharata and it has the maximum viewership. But otherwise, you see all channels are there and Ramayana and Mahabharata were out of TV. So this is how TV changed the whole culture of India. Is in 30 years of time. Within 30 years of time, this is how the TV changed the whole culture of India. So Vedic culture emphasized regularly hearing transcendental topics. So every night people will gather to hear Ramayana and Mahabharata. See, light was not there. There was no culture of sleeping night 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Batti gul abhi so jao 9, 9:30, 10 बजे. And what you do after sunset, right? खाना खा लिया सब काम हो गया. What do you do after that? Here Krishna Katha. That was a simple life. Work some 6 hours, 7 hours there. Like most of the people, farmers, the Vaishyas, they will work only 4 months, 6 months, the crop win. Other time is a normal thing. And so much yield will come that you earn few months and live happily whole year. And give time for cultivating Krishna consciousness. That was the culture of India. And with that, India was golden golden parrot or golden bird. So much wealth was there, but it was looted by Mughals and Britishers. But that was the culture of India, right? Everybody was engrossed in dharma, in hearing Ramayana and Mahabharata. That was the culture. I've seen in 93. I was only some 90 in 91, 92. I was only few years old, 4 5 years. And I remember my grandfather whole day will be watching Ramayana serial. And I'll watching with them. And that's what the thing will come only there. Nothing more will come. Later on, pictures and all other things started. In 89, 90, that was the culture. Watching Ramayana, Mahabharata. The whole culture is changed. In contrast, modern society is bombarded from all sides by disturbing vibration. Newspapers and other media agitate and aggravate the disturbances in the mind. High speed from across the globe without giving any positive shelter. All their hearts were melting for him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Right? So, what they did? Their hearts were melted for Lord Krishna. And they looked at him without blinking their eyes. They moved hither and thither in perplexity. The female relatives whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They fear that tears would cause misfortune in the time of departure. So they were widows, so they never came in contact with the Lord directly, right? But they also developed a great affection for the Lord, so much so that the tears were coming in their eyes when Lord Krishna was leaving. But they fear because they fear that no, our tears will cause some inauspiciousness. So they close their tears also. They try to stop their tears. So the ladies feared that their tears might bring misfortune for Krishna. Such sentiments were not superstitious. Our mental state influences how things unfold. We can project positive or negative vibration into our surroundings. Therefore, they stopped their tears with the difficulty and smiled affectionately. Out of a loving desire. Now see, whole Hastinapur, whole town of Hastinapur is a news. Krishna is leaving. Now, what a great fortune of Hastinapur Vasi is that they were personally seeing Lord Krishna and Balram. And even Mathura Vasis, they will talk a lot. Arey, what is the great fortune of Vrajvasis there? So Mathura Vasis, Vrajvasis, Dwarka Vasis. There, of course, Mathura Vasis and Dwarka Vasis in one sense same also, because the Mathura Vasis were shifted to Dwarka. So they will have great fortune of seeing Krishna, and they will glorify the fortune of the Vrajvasis who always used to see Krishna. So, out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of the Kurus got up on the top of the palace and smilingly with affection and shyness they showered flowers upon the Lord. See, Vedic culture was man will be down, woman will be above. Right? Because if a man is looking up, woman can always see why you're looking the above. Right? There. So there was lot of separation kept between man and woman in Vedic times. See, women in Vedic culture, see, there's a misnomer in India that women were exploited. Actually, in a proper Vedic culture, women were never exploited. Even one Draupadi was exploited to give her justice. The whole Mahabharata war was fought, isn't it? So women were very much protected, not exploited in Vedic culture, and very much respected. So women in Vedic culture, you see, they will be having different, so many positive activities there. Some people say that restricted male-female association is a Mohammedan introduction further. Here we see this custom was observed even during the days of Mahabharata 5000 years ago. Instead of coming down in the open air, the ladies went up on the top of the palace and from there paid their respect to Lord Krishna by showers of flowers. The shyness is a gift of nature to the fair sex. It commands respect from the opposite sex. It enhances the woman's beauty and prestige, even if they are of a less important family or even if they are less attractive. So in Vedic culture, the woman will be very much respected because of their shyness, not unnecessarily mixing with men. Woman is considered to be fire and man is considered to be like butter. The butter was melt in association with fire. Nowadays, what happens? There is a male employee and husband is not there, and then some problem happens in the home. Therefore, they may be brought together only when it is necessary. Even great and powerful men like Julius Caesar or Vishwamitra Muni fell victim to feminine attraction. When the mind is always preoccupied with impressing the opposite party, there is very little chance for being sober and contemplating higher values of life. The shyness in women is a great protection to check unnecessary mixing and maintain chastity in society. It is nature's gift and it must be utilized. So, contrary to popularized belief that Vedic culture is restrictive and exploitative towards women, it offers them great protection. Like you see, Yashoda Mai is so happy, churning butter for Krishna, and all the cow herd, going. The men are going walking, but women are kept in the bullock cart. So always a lot of privileges were given to women and children in the Vedic society. So Vedic culture is not restrictive, rather it is meant to lead one to higher freedom. A simple housewife, is that all? Are they not being confined to stereotype roles? Don't they need gainful employment? Answer is no. A woman itself feels very much satisfied raising a child, and they are gainfully and meaningfully engaged. In fact, in ISKCON also, in our temple itself, there are many Matajis who will come dress the deities of Lord Jagannath, make flowers every day, and lot of service, cook for Jagannath. So lot of service is done. In fact, they will take many classes for children, many classes for other women there. So this is a Vedic culture where both woman and husband they very positively contribute in their respective areas. But man remains a man and woman remains a woman. And both are respected in the Vedic culture and society. So she also serves a community in meaningful, fulfilling ways for a wholesome life of progressive satisfaction. But artificial attempts at equality actually leaves women more prone to exploitation. So in name of freedom, they are exploited and subject to needless anxieties. You know, person has to work. One of the problems which comes in homes nowadays, both man is working, woman is working, and the wife is expected to do housework also and work in the office also, take care of the child also, and become, and she is completely into anxiety. In Vedic society, women were not equal, but in fact enjoyed a more respectful position than man. They were addressed as mother, a position of greatest respect. Boys were trained right from childhood to respect and cherish all women as mothers. That's why we call Mataji. Any woman we address, we call them as Mataji, because it's a training that a brahmachari should see every woman as mother. So Vedic education was not meant not for acquiring degrees or earning one's livelihood. Rather, it is stress on formation of character. Like Chanakya Pandit's three formula of character. One who sees all women other than one's own wife as mother. Others' possession as insignificant as a lump of clay. He doesn't do corruption, knowing that this property belongs to others. Doesn't take others' property by thievery. And treats all living beings as he wants to treat himself. Just we want respect from others, to give respect to others. Just we want love from others, give love to others. So such a person is actually a learned person, not a person who has high degree of PhDs or high degree of MTech, BTech, but this is a person of a real character. And natural opulence and social organization. So while the Lord was departing from the palace of Hastinapur, different types of drums like the Mridanga, Dhola, Nagra, Dhunduri, and Dundubi and flutes of different types, the Veena, Gomukha, and Bheri, all sounded together to show him honor. At that time, Arjuna, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who was an intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. See, this kind of reception I've seen in Guruvayur. Guruvayur, every night they have deity of Lord Krishna taken out and they will put him onto elephant. Beautiful it looks. One pujari will keep the deity in night 10 o'clock like this. Will keep, and two elephants they will be sitting and they will be doing chamar like this. The pujaris. It just look like fitting like Dwarka reception of Lord Krishna. Guruvayurappa in Guruvayur, it's in Kerala, that place. That reception happens in that mood. In fact, Guruvayur is called also Dwarka of South. Melkote is called Badrinath of South, and Guruvayur is called Dwarka of South. Even the elephants and counts were ornamented in gold until recent times. And nature provides bountifully by the order of the Lord when man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities. So I was telling the harms of plastics. That every week we eat one credit card amount of plastic, which is really harming the system. Many diseases, even Ayurvedic doctors are not able to catch nowadays. Okay, why this disease is happening. Because of plastic, no, it's something new generation of diseases it is producing. Instead of purified butter, we are using margarine. Margarine. When Uddhava and Satyaki begin to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as a master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. And see, even to this day, the deity of Lord Krishna in temples is brought out in grand procession. In Srirangam, out of 365 days, around 200 to 50 days are festivals only. And Lord comes out, and you get a lot of prasad also when Lord comes out. And you can beat every day is a festival. Even ours also, many practically 1 week this festival, another week that festival. Right? Last week was Aditacharya Prabhu's appearance day. Next week is Nitan Prabhu's appearance day. So it's always joyful. But who becomes the center in festival? The deity. And everybody becomes. So here you see center was Lord Krishna. Same way the festival, the temple culture gives a festival culture. When there's a good culture in temple, it looks like celebrating the Lord's festival. So when you come see the deity Abhishek, see the kirtan for the pleasure of the deities, then what happens? You understand, Array, Lord is personally there in the form of the deity. And by celebrating festivals in the temple, we can actually feel what the Hastinapur Vasis are feeling there. Even you come to Shadipuram, our temple, you see so much how the way festivals are celebrated. It's so much gorgeous, it's something very amazing the way Abhishek happened. Deities become so happy. The Lord is the center. So much prasadam is distributed. So much katha of the Lord. So coming Thursday is Nityanand Trodashi. So all of you are invited for the Nityan Trodashi festival. Thursday evening. So ladies clean the streets and decorate them with elaborate floral designs. Brahmins chant Vedic hymns. Children pour cards or light fire crackers and distribute sanctified food to public. So whenever deity will come out, a lot of prasadam distribution also will happen. In fact, you see Tirupati, Udupi, they are the major places for their distribution of prasadam in temple. Even our Shishatipuram temple, anybody can come and take prasadam anytime. You come, any devotee come, they can get prasadam. So simply by observing the Lord's beauty, they feel no such necessity for movies, television, and clubs for artificial entertainment. Whatever personal problems, interpersonal tension they may be, are set aside and forgotten, and the entire community is brought together in the sublime celebrations. Signs of decoration in special festival were also collected from the gifts of nature, such as the plantain trees. You see, decoration happens even in temple. You come, such kind of banyan tree is there, banana tree is there. So many plant trees are there, and decoration happens. And the artwork. So everybody is engaged happily in a meaningful work. But everything today is yielded on a money scale. But previously it was done out of affection for the Lord. And the richer gets richer, poor gets poorer. The artificial way on living on factories and tools can render so-called happiness only to a limited number at the cost of millions. See, even in you will find in Bangalore near the lake which people will have flats, crorepati people. Even in the Sadashiv Nagar near Sanki Tanki line, very crorepatis only will have flats there, and common people have to live in a place where no fresh air, no sunlight also in Bangalore. Yeah, so we are also living in so the fresh you see we have luxuries at the cost of necessities. You have luxury of car and everything, but we may not have pure water. You may say RO water, but RO water has no minerals in it. And if you go for Himalayan water, it is 60 rupees per liter. So no pure proper water. Food. The oils we are eating, most of the oils is paraffin and palm oil there, which creates another harm in the body. Then the smoke. We are doing the smoke in the cities is equivalent to smoking many cigarettes per day. So neither we have pure air, neither pure food, neither pure water. Only luxuries are there in the name. And that is why people at the age of 50 getting so much cancer, so much diabetes. Why? Because the proper facilities are not there. In the human civilization has sufficient grains, minerals, jewels, water, milk, etc., then why should it hanker after terrible industrial enterprises at the cost of labor of some unfortunate? So better is what? Whether you're in a city or village doesn't matter. What is important to keep God in the center. Now person may go in the village also, but doesn't have God in the center. So again he has to take birth and again he may come and land up in one of the cities. So wherever you are, we may not be able to change our external situations, but at least we can make our civilization as God centered and live a life based on the principles. And there's a systematic training and education. Okay, so this is the theme one, two. Now the last theme which you see, now the Hastinapur ladies, they are glorifying the Lord. And what they are talking, can you imagine? Lord is going, what they will talk. And their talks are looking more pleasing to the Lord than the Vedic verses also. The talks of Hastinapur ladies were more pleasing to Krishna than even the Vedic knowledge also, the Vedas, Vedic citations also. Why? Let us see. You see? अन्योन्यनम् आसी सञ्जल्पम् उत्तम शोका चेतसां कौरवेन्दापुरस्त्रीणां सर्वाशुद्धि मनोहरः अन्योन्यम् आसी sanjalpa. So they're doing sanjalpa. Jalpa means talking. Uttam Shoka Chetasam, about the Supreme Lord. Uttam Shoka. Kauravendra Purastrina. Kauravendra, Kaurava in Puri. Shar Shruti Manohara. It it enchants the heart of the even the Lord. So this is prayers from 21 to 30. Let us see. Okay, so end of the chapter. So what they are praying, they spoke in reverence that Lord, the same Lord Krishna who is going in front of us, He is the one who has created this grand universe. So first they have to identify, no, who is the Lord. He's not an ordinary human being. He is the one who has created this universe. He is going over there. He is the supreme Lord of all that. And this supreme Lord is perceivable now by the process of devotional service. And they appreciate Lord's form as the most confidential. To know Krishna is the most confidential of all forms. And they remember Lord's pastime and association with Yadus and the Pandavas. And they are glorifying. Let us see these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead, whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of the Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world, and yet remains unaffected. Whenever they are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest mode of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power, the truth, shows a special mercy to the faithful, and performs wonderful activities. And he thus manifests various transcendental forms. Like sometimes he'll come as Narsingh Dev, Vaman Dev, Vara Dev, when demons will come to protect the devotees and enlighten the demons. And they're saying, Aho alam swaghyatamam yadukulam. Recite after me. अहो अलं शक्यतमं यदुकुलम् अहो अलं पूर्णतमं मधुर्वनम् यद एष पुंसां वृषभाश्रयापति स्वजन्मना चङ्क्रमणेन सञ्चति. Oh, how supremely glorified the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. How virtuous the land of Mathura, and how where the supreme goddess of fortune taken the birth and wandered in his childhood. See, Yadupuri, see, Lord is personally living with the Yadavas. Just think about it. The Yadavas are his son, Yadavas is his family. अहो बताशा यशस्तिरस्करी कुशस्थली पुण्ययशस्करी भुवः पश्यन्ति नित्यं यदनुग्रहेसितं स्मितावलोकं सपतिमस्म यत्प्रजा. Undoubtedly, it's wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enchanted the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So, see how Dwarka has defeated the glories of heavenly planets. So, why the Yadus, they brought the Sudharma assembly hall. They brought the Parijat tree. So heaven was not, see, people want to go heaven to enjoy. But Dwarka was more opulent. And why? Because Lord Krishna was personally present there. If some demon will come in Swarga, they will call Lord Krishna from Dwarka to kill the demons. So people in Dwarka were more freedom from fear than even heaven also. Because if demons come in heaven, they have to call the Lord from here, no? So Dwarka Vasis are living very happily because it is not different from the spiritual world. Oh, friend, just think of his wives, whose hands he has accepted. How, what kind of culture the wives would have practiced. And what to say, the children of this lady, Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, ladies like Rukmani, Satyamama, Shishupal. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhamasur and thousands of his assistants. All of these ladies are glorious. Now, see, people see, here proper says here, a full description of there were 16,100 beautiful girls who were daughters of many kings and were forcibly stolen by Bhamasur, who kept them captive for his carnal desire. The girls prayed piteously to Lord Krishna for their deliverance, and the merciful Lord, called by their fervent prayer, released them all by fighting and killing Bhamasur. All these captive princesses were then accepted by the Lord as his wives, although in the estimation of society they were fallen girls. So many people say, why did Krishna marry 16,108 queens? Actually, Krishna did not want it to marry. These girls were praying for the Lord to become their husband. And because they were captured by the Asura, Bhamasura, sorry, Narkasura, or Bhamasura, same name, so nobody would have accepted them because they were captured by a demon. So their life would have been spoiled according to the Vedic system. But Lord Krishna, but when they came in contact with Lord Krishna, they became pure. Just like sun can purify any contamination, so even their so-called impurity washed away because they worship Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna accepted their husband. And Krishna gave them palace for each and every girl, every queen. And he himself expanded into 16,100 forms. So this is how Lord reciprocate to his devotees. Can you imagine? So it's not just a husband-wife relationship. It's like relationship between Lord Krishna with his devotees. So Krishna was impressed by their devotion, not by their beauty. And Lord doesn't have anything to enjoy. He's Atmaram. He doesn't need women to enjoy. He is Atmaram. Right? So the all-powerful Lord Krishna accepted the humble prayers of these girls and married them with the adoration of queens. So altogether, Lord Krishna had 16,108 queens at Dwarka, and each of them he begot 10 children. All these children grew up and had many children. The aggregate of the family number 1 crore. The family of the Yadus. Right? And all these women, yeah, Prabhu writes, the devotees of the Lord are purified souls. As soon as the devotees surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord sincerely, the Lord accepts them, thus the devotee at once becomes free from all material contaminations. So while the ladies of the capital were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord smilingly accepted their good feelings and casting the grace of his glance over them, he departed from the city. And Maharaj, he should put 4 divisions of defense. And how, with so much affection, they were going, Krishna's. They accompanied him with considered distance to Seema. They were overwhelmed with the thought of future separation. The Lord, however, persuaded them to return home and he proceeded toward Dwarka with his dear companions. And then Lord proceeded toward Kuru Janjal, Panchal, Shursena, Brahmavatra, Kurukshetra, Matsya. After crossing this province, he gradually reached the Savira and Abhi provinces and then west of this reached Dwarka at Nas. And there he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. That's why, Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra stops at sunset. Because Lord's Ratha will stop at sunset and halts at a place there. So thus ends the 10th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I hope you like this whole beautiful pastime of first canto. Okay, so now we can take some questions. If you have any questions, please ask. Do you have any questions? Anyone?
Hare Krishna Bhujitara.
Hare Krishna, Vijay.
Hare Krishna Bhujitara Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yes, bro.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. I have a question, Prabhuji. Like in Vedic culture, why women were allowed to follow husband when he dies? Actually, and
Yeah,
Sati system, why it was followed?
yeah, Sati system. See, it's a misunderstood system. See, what will happen? The wife will have such a love for the husband that she don't want to live without the husband. And the Vedas proclaim that what if such a woman becomes sati, they directly go to heaven. Or wherever is the destination of the husband, the wife goes along with. If the husband is going to Brahmaloka, the wife will also go. If the husband going to Vaikuntha Loka, the wife will also go. And other thing, it was a voluntary system, not a forced system. But 200, 300 years back, it was made a forced system, the sati. And then it was abolished. But if you see, when Pandu died, Madri went sati with Pandu, but Kunti did not went as sati because Kunti had children. So always it was never a forced concept. It was a voluntary because the wife will go so much love with the husband that she will not want to live without the husband. That was the reason the sati pratha was there, and the Vedas will say that it will have the same destination. The wife will have same destination as the husband will go. Or in fact, by the punya of wife, the husband will also go to heaven. So that's why it was told. See, previously people did not identify with the body so much as we do today. They understand there is a life after this life also, and we continue our life. So that was the basic understanding with the system of sati pratha. It was never a forced system. So does that answer your question, Guru Raj Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Satyan Prabhu has a question. Yes. You can come here and ask the question. Yeah.
In Vedic system, Putra is identified as one who develops his family members and sisters. But that privilege is not given to the daughter. So some people realize that this is the reason for female.
So Satyam was saying that in Vedic culture, the putra is only considered to deliver the father, not the putri. Actually, if you see in Krishna consciousness, putris are delivering their father more than putras also. Because one Mataji attend a class on Gita and they pull her family also, and whole family become a devotee, Krishna conscious. So in Krishna consciousness, Putra and Putri both are same. Now in Vedic system, how the system was, see, the Vedic system is very intelligently made. Right? How it is? Because Putri goes to another home. So after parents will die, who will give the oblations? The Putra. Because Putri has gone to another home. You got my point. So Putra will give the oblations. So therefore the people will take responsibility. Actually, after a person dies, in a Vedic concept, after a person dies, how if he has gone to hell, how he can be delivered from the hell? Only if his son gives oblation for the father. If he's in the Pitraloka and he's wanting some more credits, more punya, only if his sons deliver him credit, then he will give credit and enjoy in Pitraloka. But in Krishna consciousness, we don't need. We directly give Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to people. So they directly go to Vaikuntha. That's why for devotees, if there's a death also, we don't have to observe all the Shraddha ceremonies, what for Karamkandi people, because devotees are not attached to Pitraloka or hell. Vagera. They directly go with the Lord. Or they come again and take birth and continue their spiritual journey. The Lord takes care for them. But previously, the Putra will offer oblation. That's why people will take of the Putra. But Putri goes to another home, and Putri's Putra offer oblations to his father. So this was a Vedic system. Okay. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
While performing material activities, how to remember Lord Krishna?
Oh, sing the kirtan, play the kirtan, or hear some lecture. That way you can remember Krishna while doing your activities. Like even you're cooking, you can play some kirtan, Hare Krishna kirtan, and that way you can remember the Lord.
Okay. Sure, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other question? Okay. So we'll end it here.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the lovely lecture. Thank you so much. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we would like to express our gratitude to His Grace Hare Krishna Prabhuji for taking out time many Sundays and giving out this wonderful class, beautifully explaining how Krishna in Dwarka pastime and comparing the Vedic and modern civilization. So we are really grateful for your time, Prabhuji. And also one small announcement that as we had announced before of the Melkote spiritual trip. So yeah, it would be a very wonderful experience because you would get to personally associate with all our devotees. Right now we are associating virtually through Zoom, but there we will go together in bus traveler and there we'll have beautiful darshan of the Lord Nrsimhadev. So since we have to make arrangements of bus traveler and other facilities, so today is the last day to confirm your seat. The link which will be posted in WhatsApp group. And also the quiz link is already posted in the chat and you all can go ahead and attempt the quiz. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Those who are